Since today, I want to speak to you on the subject of church and politics. And I'm asking all my listeners to make it make sense, whereby preachers are preaching sermons to their congregation, encouraging them to partake in politics by saying to them that God has given them leaders to lead them. Then these preachers will turn around and preach against the legalization of homosexuality or the legalization of other things like alcohol, marijuana, and all of these other things. Okay. As a matter of fact, all the different things that preachers preach against. These are the same things that have been instituted by these same people that they refer to as leaders that God gave to lead you. So they encourage you to go to a polling station and vote for who you choose to vote for. And they put God in the mix. But when you learn to think for yourself, you would realize that there's no way that church and state could present to you the truth. It will all be contradictory. For example, it takes a politician, or politicians, I should say, to pass certain laws or certain bill in a country for people to sell alcohol. And the people who sell alcohol, they pay taxes. Okay. And also the people who involved in the pornography industry, which is like $1 trillion industry, they pay taxes too. They pay to the governmental system. And the governmental system is what gives the church system permission to run their corporation or their business tax free. So when you really think deeply, you would realize that it doesn't make sense that you get involved in either politics or religion. As a matter of fact, you discover for yourself that both political parties and religious bodies, they're all cults that want to culture you to think and act and believe and live a certain way. But when you learn to think and act for yourself, you would realize that they want to contradict your life in order to control you. And the things that they're saying and doing, it doesn't make sense because their lifestyle doesn't back up the things that they're talking about. For example, the political powers would allow preachers to have private jet, to live in certain mansion, to do certain things, and never be held accountable or held in any way for money laundering, as long as they sign up under certain bodies, whether under the Pentecostals or whether under the evangelical or whichever church body. Okay? So, as long as you get involved, you are not innocent. You're just as guilty as them. So, check out any sermon that a preacher will preach on a pulpit and take the things that he's telling you not to do or to get involved in. Like, for example, in my country, they normally celebrate carnival, and carnival involve a lot of smoking, drinking, partying, revelry, you name it. Okay? And they will tell you not to get involved in that. But yet they will tell you to get involved in politics. And then the same church system adapt the same kind of music. And they try to tell you that music, when you do it in the church, is different to when you do it in the dance hall. But who was doing it first? The church or the dance hall? And so when you study the church system, you see the church system is a copycat, and they are always changing to fit the time and the events that are happening. And so none of it makes sense if you really use your common sense. That is why I put this channel together, to get people to think. And that's why I name it Make It Make Sense. Because the things that politics and religion is offering you to better yourself, it doesn't make sense. And that is why I always say there are two people, okay, are two thieves that is competing for your mind. And one is promising you a good life while you're here if you give them your power or your energy. And the other one is promising you a good life after you leave here if you give him your power or your energy. So they are out to take your power away from you without you really recognizing it. And so when you study these two systems, then you would realize why, as a little child, before you even reach the age of 12, that they would have already indoctrinated you to think and act and believe a certain way. And so when you grow up with your parents having a certain political party, most likely they want to influence you to follow a political party. And when you grow up with parents having a particular religion, they will also want to influence you to follow that religion. But I want to say to you that true salvation is self-realization. I want to say to you, you're here to find yourself. And when you find yourself, you find all the contradictions, and you find all the things that doesn't make sense. And I'm telling you, politics and religion don't make any sense at all. They always contradict each other, and they all would be proved to be liars. But when you find your true self, you'd realize that all the answers that you're looking for in life, they can be found within you. And that's the message I want to convey to you. I'm saying to you, learn to love yourself and believe in yourself. And never think that a politician is responsible for your life, or a preacher is responsible for your life, or there's any middleman, or mediator. Never believe that. You're here to find yourself. And I'm giving you the tools to do that, because all you need to do is find time to think. They keep you so busy and so distracted that you don't get time to think. So I'm making this video so you can think. That's all I'm saying. Learn to think, okay? And you'll see all of the lies and contradictions that have been fed to all of humanity. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna come to a close here, and I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me and what I'm saying, if I am making sense, okay, and you like this channel, and there's something that you like for me to make it make sense, and you see that preachers have been speaking about certain things, or they've been quoting certain scriptures, but it doesn't make sense to you, and you would like certain things to be make sense to you, you can definitely drop me a comment or drop me an email, or just reach out and let us get this conversation going, because there are many questions and there are few answers. Okay, as a matter of fact, there are more questions than answers, and people are not allowed to ask certain questions in church and so on, and to question authority, because you're told never to question God, never to question the religious beliefs have been passed on to you and all of these things. But I'm saying to you, it is your right to question these things. So feel free to reach out to me if I'm of any help to you. And if you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, you like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at Black Mad Guru. And if you'd like to get my books, the links are down in the description. You have about 10 books to choose from. Also, if you want to do a one-on-one with me, you can drop me an email and we can set up a one-on-one, or you can do a one-on-one with me on an app called Faithia. It's a religious app, but I teach spirituality there and I do one-on-one on it too. So the choice is yours. Also, if you'd like to become a part of my Patreon community, I have a course there for people who are donating $20 or more. It's called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And along with that is a bonus course on self-concept. So there's a lot of videos for you to listen to help you on your spiritual journey. And also, if you want to become a part of my university, I have my Free Thinkers and Seekers University. And weekly, I try to do a master class and leave it there for those who a part of that university. Also, I have my breathing technique, the honey, feeling breathing technique is available to those who will also, join my university. But my last encouragement to you is to just make sure that you check out all of the links that are down below. And definitely let your intuition lead you and guide you into what to do. So with that being said, I just want to say peace, love you all. Out.